is Norn for A-Game TV, and we're at the A-Game 8th Annual Father and Son Day Carnival. Well, let's talk to some of the fathers out here. Well, here comes a grandfather at least. Can you come over and say a couple of words for A-Game?
Dad, can I have this?
Boy, put that down.
You want to talk to me? Ooh, this 28-year-old body sure don't work like it used to.
28? You look more like you're 78.
Dad, can I go in there?
I can't afford that.
Can I have this horse?
Oh, you done broke the merry-go-round.
Dad, can I have this?
Come save me down here today. This boy done took all my energy.
Wow, you really should try A-Game. It's an all-natural solution that's gonna give you the energy and pep you need to keep up with that young whippersnapper you got there.
Can I have this?
Oh, who gonna pay for all this? Hey, can y'all take a two-party out-of-state check?
Here, try some. Wow, that really turned you into a super dad.
Yeah, and with all this energy, I'm really about to enjoy my father's time.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another super dad. This is Norin for A-Game TV signing off. Remember, stay on your A-Game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, TGIF to everybody. How we doing today? We gotta cook today. We gotta cook today. A-Game is dynamite to a man's body, JP6. It really is. The type of energy boost and focus boost that men receive from A-Game is unlike any other. And I've heard this from men in my personal life who take it, and the men who frequent the chat who also take it. So if you're curious about whether or not A-Game works for you, the answer is yes. And you can always check that out with the link at the top of the chat. So last night, as you know, as anybody knows that is familiar with it, the Lapeef Network, shout out to the Lapeef Network and the brothers and sisters at that network who are regulars on the panel and things of that nature. Shout out to them. That he has his show every Thursday night. And they cover a myriad of topics, you know, over about a 4 to 6 hour panel. Okay. And last night when I tuned in, I walked in on what I viewed as an attack on femininity. And the problem is that the attack on black women's femininity is coming from black women. It's not coming from the men. It's coming from the so-called women, which is why I titled it this way. Black women are waging a war on femininity. And the recent target for this week, for this time, was I am Courtney Michelle. Okay. Thank you, Dees, for sending my support to you on behalf of black men. We support you, and I support you as well. Thank you so much for kicking off the contributions. I really appreciate them all. So Courtney was the latest target for this war on femininity that black women don't want to admit to having. Thank you so much, Norin. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Once again, I really appreciate all of your support. Black women don't want other black women to know that there's a war against them. This isn't about talking points. This isn't about a philosophical difference. This isn't about, oh, we're just chilling and, you know, we had a little bit of a disagreement where we're good. No, it's not good. We're not good. The lionesses and the hyenas are not good. We can never be good. Let's just get that out of the way. We're never going to be good. I'm never going to be good with a hyena and her lost value system and her destructive nature and her destructive behavior and her lack of accountability and her lack of spiritual value and her lack of family value and her greed and her endless leisure and her. I'm never going to be good with that. I'm never going to be good with it. My nature as a lioness doesn't allow it, and I make no apologies for that. None. Part of the war on femininity that Black women wage is trying to impugn femininity. That if you are a feminine woman, that you aren't supposed to speak the truth, and you're not supposed to say anything with any type of passion behind it. You're not supposed to be able to stand up for yourself. Basically, if you're a lioness in this climate, you need to shut up, sit down, and fall back, because you're not valued as a lioness. Your femininity is considered to be weak. So since you a weak bee, you need to go sit yourself down somewhere and be meek and humble and feminine. Because in the eyes of the hyena, a feminine woman is a weak, stupid woman that doesn't know her butt from a hole in the ground. What they forget is that we're lionesses. And we do this. We're the most dangerous thing on the planet. Us. Period. And when we do that, we're going to need the hyenas to take leave. See, at this point, the gloves are off. The gloves are off. Gloves are off now. We're not playing no games, because the lost value system don't play no games. It has ravaged us. It has destroyed us. It has not played a game. It has left no stone unturned. It has left no woman's mind uncorrupted, nor any man's life ruined, nor any child's life in a setback. So to think that the lioness now has to walk on eggshells around a bunch of hyenas, I wish I would. I wish I would talk like this when I got the power to talk like this. I wish I would whisper about my value system when I can do that with my value system. Now, what I'm going to show, I'm going to skip. Of course, I'm not going to show it in one chunk because it was a long time, like 20 or 30 minute chunk from where I want to start. Just to give context before I start, because I'm not going to go all the way back, the conversation was centered around feminine and masculine traits. Mr. Logic had a list of predominantly feminine traits and masculine traits, and the women and everybody was talking about who needed to have what traits and all of these sorts of things. So we're going to open it up with Quest asking, like, he's speaking, and then Courtney's going to speak to a point. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen. Once again, Shout out to Lapeef Network, as this is their content and we are only giving commentary. So let me pull it up.
We want y'all to get this younger, because I'm assuming she kind of look like she a little aged a little bit. She probably about like, what you think, Anton? You think she about 38?
Probably older. I think she over 40.
Okay, so she over 40. I had to take her all the way to fucking 40, and now she wants to be this more feminine woman. And it's like, can we get y'all to think like this younger, right? Because I guarantee she's living in a stage of regret that now she knows it now versus not being able to do that shit younger. That's all I wanted to say, and I'll let y'all dissect that.
I'll answer that, Quest. We weren't taught that, and we're still not taught that. We are taught to have fun in our 20s and live it up. We're taught to be independent. We're taught to be able to take care of ourselves and not need a man. And we are still taught that to this day. And it's unfortunate because it is older women that are finally getting it and are trying to correct the wrongs of what we were taught, but sometimes it's hard to get through. Like, i.e., look at the conversation that we're having now. Who is the oldest woman on the panel? Me. But who seems to kind of understand exactly what she's speaking about? Me. But then when I say it to the youngest on the panel, and I'm going to say it's Andrea, what do I get called? It's a continual, perpetual thing that we keep doing to ourselves. Is the older women are now trying to tell younger women that pink list is what we need to be striving for.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Now, before we continue any further, let me come back to you guys. Before we continue any further, the young lady that's about to disagree with Courtney has already had words with Courtney. She don't like Courtney because she's accusing Courtney of throwing shade to her because that young lady is a stripper by profession. We're going to get into that. But before we get into that, I wanted to speak to Courtney's point. What we have not been taught as Black women. See, we got taught the lost value system, right? We weren't taught to be feminine. We were taught to be masculine. We were taught to be this independent, I don't need no man. We know the mantra. We know it. Who didn't teach us? Our mothers. Why didn't our mothers teach us how to be wives, how to be feminine, how to be proper women? Because they can only pass down the value system that they live by and adopted. And which value system was that? It was the lost value system. It was the American nightmare. It was all of these destructive nuclear family tearing down traits that she passed down to her daughter for generations upon generations now. And Black women are conditioned mentally to only deal in that value system. Okay? Now, why did our mothers teach us this? Why did our mothers teach us the lost value system? Well, because it's part of white supremacy. And they're doing what comes with white survivalism, because they thought that they could benefit and that they could thrive while operating outside of the natural place that a woman is supposed to be, which is in her womanhood and her femininity underneath a 10 life value system. See, what we have to understand is that passing on of the culture is part of female nature, but that all depends on what culture she passing. And Black women over the past 70 years have passed down a very destructive, selfish, reckless culture that has done nothing but destroy each individual member of the Black community and the community as a whole. So this is why the older women, this is why Black women get older before she start talking some sense. I know that the men are like, no, the younger women need to get it because we want them. They got to get it younger. And I agree. They do have to get it younger. But they also got to listen. Got to listen. When an older woman is telling, listen, the loss value system does not work. It doesn't work. Which is something Courtney is about to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow her to say it. Please excuse any language because the lady Andrea is pretty potty mouthed. So if you hear some language, please excuse that. But we're going to let this point play out.
Because that's our power. The femininity is powerful and it can control a man like that if you exude those. You can get anything you want.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you at all. I feel like the reason why it's difficult to take
I'm gonna hold on, Andrea. I'm gonna hold on. You can finish, but let me finish what my talking point is, and then you can go right after me. So our power is when we exude that pink list. And that pink list can get you anything you want. But when exude that blue list, we don't get shit. We don't get a man. We don't get married. We don't get anything but headaches and then arguments and then chat going wild, comments. It doesn't work, and it hasn't. And I'm trying to figure out if we know these things and if majority of men are saying your power lies in your femininity and you can get what you want and need out of me as your husband if you do this. Again, why are we fighting it? Why fight it? Andrea, why disagree with me?
Okay.
Now, I'm going to let it play out. But what Courtney said was basically facts. Why are we fighting? And that's the point of this show today. The fight that Black women have for anything that even slightly look feminine. Anything that even slightly comes off as what Black women or hyena would call weak. You're weak. Now, this is actually gonna get deep, okay? Because this lady, like I said, is mad at Courtney. She's mad at Courtney about something that Courtney said when they were all in Atlanta because Lapeef Network had a meetup in Atlanta, hang out and everything. And I'm assuming everybody was there. So there was she's bringing energy to the panel about something that she could have addressed in Atlanta. Let me come back. Let me come back. Because I'm going to speak to something real quick. I'm going to speak to something real quick. And what I'm going to speak to is the cowardice of the hyena. The cowardice of a hyena. See, they like to project weakness and cowardice off on the lioness. But no, not so fast. They kind of cowards. Because if you were in Atlanta with Courtney and Courtney said something about you, you could have had that discussion to Courtney's face. And however that conversation ended, whether it ended amicably or whether you guys ended and said, you know what, I don't mess with you, I don't really like you, please stay away from me, or whatever the case may have been, it would have been it. But no. See, the lost value system, you gotta get attention. You gotta get attention. And it doesn't matter what kind of attention you get. And it's usually negative. And you usually got to put on a show. And you usually got to puff your chest out. And you usually got to do all of these theatrics and dramatizations to get a reaction out of everybody else, get attention from everybody else, and not only to get the attention from everybody else, but to also receive the amen and the support for what you know is wrong. Support me in my wrong. Support me being a hyena. Support me getting out of context. Support me being in my masculine energy. Support me being in negative energy. Support me with this foolishness. Because we live in a climate today where the hyena feel emboldened because she been getting supported in her foolishness. What this conversation was really about was Courtney was charging her up with a value system. Courtney was charging her up on her own value system, and she couldn't hang. She got mad with that. So I'm going to go back to it. And I'm thinking I should fast forward, but I may let it play out a little bit.
I'm going to tell you why I'm going to disagree with you. Because when it comes to you, I feel like you have a bias against me because you like to throw the rock and hide your hand. So we've had previous conversations, and even in Atlanta, I heard you say some slick stuff about me, being disrespectful, calling me outside of my name. I heard you call me.
Hold on. We can okay. I ain't never. Let me be very clear. And I don't. Absolutely. If I'm gonna say something, I'll say it to your face.
You said it.
When we were on the panel and you were saying something and being highly aggressive, I said I don't debate strippers.
And you come here
and people were mad. People were mad because I said that, and I don't. And the reason why
I'm not finished talking. I let you talk, so let me finish talking. I actually don't care for your reason why, whatever the reason it was.
Yo, Andre acting like Logic.
No.
Right. Okay. But if you wanted,
you wanted me to let you finish, so I'm not finished talking.
Well, you wanted
to
let
me finish, so have the same decorum.
This is
for whatever reason you decided to call me out of my name, you did it.
That's not
whatever.
We're gonna fast forward through the argument.
And you feel ashamed?
I'll earn you. I ain't ashamed of shit, bitch.
You apparently are. You're ashamed.
I'm not. I'll earn you.
And you should be ashamed.
I'll earn you, honey.
And I don't have to sell my soul or my body.
I don't give a fuck about what you have to sell. You just said a weak ass kinky twist.
All right. Let's move on, man. Let's move on. Make your point. Hey, Cordy, make your point to everybody else. Make your point to everybody else.
Okay.
This is retarded.
I don't know exactly what she was trying to say or trying to do. If you are ashamed of what you do or what you are, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
You ashamed of bags under your fucking eyes.
I hope you don't have. You're
disgusting. You get this. Hey,
absolutely disgusting.
Chill out, Quest. Relax.
No. Don't relax, man. Because you know she'll need to be involved in this, man. Come on. Hey, go. Hey, Cordy, ask your question to everybody else, man.
Now, in a moment, before I keep going, because Kayla's gonna jump in. Kayla's gonna jump in and vouch for the sisterhood. But before I do that, I want to bring to the attention what Courtney actually said. Courtney charged her up on her value system. She charged her up. She charged her up with her profession. Courtney's not making it up. That girl said she was a sex worker and a stripper. Thank you again, D. So that is weak. How you wait to the panel and have smoke. She could have said this to her face. Thank you, Kashinsi. So I don't understand why black women think money is the answer to everything. Nope. I don't know either. She's charging her up on her value system. She said, if you're ashamed of what you're doing, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Now let's examine that for a moment. Because when we take a look, thank you, Jason. When we take a look at the 10 life value system, profession is number 8. Everything on the list falls underneath the spiritual. Your spiritual self or your spirituality or lack thereof will inform all the rest of the value system that you hold or don't hold. So if you have a profession that you are ultimately ashamed of because you don't want anybody to call you that, because when they say it to you, when they repeat back to you what your profession value is, and you feel impugned on your spiritual value, then that means you need to check your spiritual value. If somebody say you a prostitute and that's what you are, and that's what you've been saying you are, and that's what you've been telling everybody you are, and been acting like I ain't ashamed of nothing. Yes, you are, because you're upset. You're upset. I ain't never got upset with somebody calling me a Muslim. That ain't never upset me. You Muslim. I don't care how they said it. I don't care if they was asking a question. I don't care if they call themselves were trying to be slick. Thank you, Paul the Baptist. I don't care what they were trying to do. It never hit me in my soul. You understand? Man, they said I was a Muslim. I am a Muslim. And proud to be one. I ain't never got hit with something that I said I was proud to be or proud to represent. And I've been representing it to the world. And then when somebody say, oh, you represent that. Oh, man, I'm representing that. Yeah. Because if you feel some type of way about your profession, if your profession hits you in your lady gooch with your spiritual, you might need to check your spiritual value. Because only in the lost value system do spirituality have no truth. You don't like the truth being talked about when we talk about what you're doing for your money. When you don't got no resistance for it, you're proud about it, or so you would have everyone to believe. We cooking this today, y'all. Thank you, Miss Celine. So I don't even address anyone like Andrea, but but she went so far enough to talk disrespectfully to someone old enough to be her mother. On top of everything else, Courtney not only charged her up with her profession, which tied to her spiritual value and her character, her personal market value was tied to her sexual market value. Do you understand? See, I want everybody to understand how these things interact, how they intertwine, and how they affect one another. Because now that Andrea girl don't like the appearance value that's attached to her profession value that is intertwined with her spiritual value. She don't want nobody to bring it up. See, we only get ashamed of things when we know we ain't supposed to be doing it. When we know deep down we ain't supposed to be doing that. We get shamed. We can be made to be ashamed about it. When we know it's something we ought not have been involved in the first place. See, you know you ain't supposed to be involved in theft, right? Thank you, Caesar says sometimes shame is your conscience telling you what you ought to be or do. Exactly. You know, anybody that's a thief know they ain't supposed to be stealing. I don't care what you stealing. I don't care how you got away with it. I don't care what you do with it. I don't care why you stealing. Everybody know you're not supposed to take things that don't belong to you. We teach you that as a little kid, and really you don't even need to be taught that as a little kid, because that is an internal thing that is innate. So if somebody realizes that you're a thief and they say, oh, you're a thief, you thief, that's going to hit you. I don't care how many times you bragged about how you could steal something and get away with it. The first person that come up and say, you a thief with disdain, you going to feel that. Why? Because you know you ain't supposed to be stealing. And now you know they're judging you on a value system that you don't have. Then Courtney was like, my value system is better than that, than to have me for profession sell something, sell my body and my soul just to get money. I don't care what you had to sell. See, when you start stepping on them back feet, when you start stepping on them back feet, thank you, Christopher. Say, hey, all praise due to Allah. Keep bringing the heat, sister. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. See, when you get the stomping on back feet, now they want to pick them up. Now you hurting them. Now you hurting the back feet. They don't even, can't touch it with a powder puff now. Now you can't touch the back feet with a powder puff. You being too hard on them. Now you're being cruel. Now you're being mean. Now you mean. Now when a lioness bites you, now she mean. She mean now. This is what Kayla's going to say. But before we get to what Kayla had to say, after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Spanky Hayes, and I want to say something, whether it's comedy, acting, or just in general real life. I use my A game. I gotta have the A game. I pack it in every pocket. I got one pill in every pocket, and every pair of pants I got. Listen, entertaining y'all is hard sometimes. I gotta fly to Dallas, then to Denver, then to New York, then to LA, then to Detroit. Come on, man. That tires me out. I just take the A game now. I don't have that problem no more. I usually barely don't sleep because I'm entertaining y'all. I'm in the studio all night with the A game. And trust me, when I come home from the studio, my woman gets to feel the real pleasure of the A game. You see, I'm smiling. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Guess what I just took? What? A game, A game, A game, A game. I'm gonna meet you upstairs, all right?
Oh, okay. He got a pill in every pocket. When he went in there and told her, he said, look, baby, I took my A game. She dropped that broom so fast and ran up them stairs. I was like, you go, girl. You know what it is. If you want your man to have a pill in every pocket, the first thing you got to do is get A game so he can put a pill in every pocket, okay? And you want him to have this pill in every pocket because this helps him be on his A game. This addresses his vitality, his energy, his strength, and his libido, right? This product is the #1 herbal solution for men's health on the market anywhere, second to none. And I'm saying that because that's real. The men in the chat can attest to all of the benefits that they receive from taking A game. And all you got to do is take it once every 72 hours with plenty of water, and you will receive the benefit immediately. It absorbs into your system in about 30 minutes to an hour, and you immediately feel all of the effects and benefits of A game without a crash, without a caffeine high, without a sugar high, or any of that other stuff. No artificial ingredients and no inactive ingredients, just 21 herbs that work exactly the way that they should. So if you want to become part of the A Game family, all that you have to do is hit the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com, and please don't forget to get your 10% discount using the code Kendra10, all right? So, now we're going to get to Miss Kayla. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit.
Perfect. So this is okay. So remember earlier when I said that women can be cruel and mean and be feminine and all that extra shit? This was literally a display of that. At the end of the day, whether she's a dancer or a prostitute, it's cruel and mean to refer to her to that or to speak like that.
Why?
How is it?
Let me finish.
So weird.
Let me finish. I didn't interrupt. Y'all just went back. Let me finish. So now I can't finish.
It's ridiculous.
I thought we were doing the feminine thing, like, you know, waiting for people to finish.
Go ahead, Kayla.
So it's unnecessary. It doesn't make sense.
You see how she talking? It's real sarcastic. Are we feminine, right? What did I say earlier? A lioness, if she being feminine, gotta shut up. She gotta go sit down somewhere. And she gotta let a hyena yip and yelp across the plain. And she not supposed to come down off of Pride Rock and let a hyena know what it is. A lioness supposed to let that go on and not do this.
And if you're a person that so highly esteemed and my relationship with God and all this extra shit, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't talk about another woman like that. You just wouldn't.
Oh my God.
So I just don't understand how that is even hard for anyone to see, because it's clear as fucking day. I don't feel the need, regardless if I know she's a prostitute, she tells everyone, I don't feel the need to speak about her like that on a stage or it's
her profession.
Let them have it. Let them have it.
Are we literally
Can I finish? Can I finish?
This is
Can I finish?
It's comical.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Okay, so let me finish.
Well, finish.
You keep interrupting though.
Well, go, honey.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
So at the end of the day, I just feel like people like to pick and choose when they're feminine or when they're the cream of the crop or the person of this and that and all this, whatever. At the end of the day, people that have class and decorum don't do things like that. We were at a professional event, and for the fact that she said she overheard you, meaning you didn't say it to her face, which means you were talking behind her back. And I don't really see a feminine lady acting like that at a professional event.
Now, if Kayla don't knock it off, where my fan? Where my fan? Here go my fan. Boop! Boop, 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 boop. If she don't knock that off. If she do not knock that off. Thank you, Barry. Said Crimson, have you noticed the strippers have increasingly become a pathway to success for some females? Is becoming a growing sector for acceptance. If she don't knock that off, what do she gotta knock off? All that little sarcasm. If we're being feminine, then I don't feel the need to talk to anybody like that, because a feminine lady doesn't what? A feminine lady don't what? We don't speak up. We don't let a hyena know what's what. What don't we do? Oh, and you know, if you're a person of God, what that's got to do with anything? So this is where we are. where anybody that has a 10 life value system gotta be ridiculed about it. If you have a spiritual system, then you gotta be ridiculed about it. You have to be shamed as a woman of value, as a woman with a value system, as a woman with femininity. Now in 2022, you gotta be ashamed of that. See, there was a time when black people lived under the 10 life value system, and a good woman was just a woman. Any average woman, any average black woman was a good woman, because the vast majority of them lived underneath the value system. It was the hyenas that had to operate in the shadows. It was the hyenas that had to act like they was about something. Even though everybody in the community knew who the hyenas were, they were able to differentiate that because the hyenas wasn't operating on a 10 life value system. But they had to act, they had to be quiet about that. You couldn't just be proud to be a 304. You couldn't just be proud to be this destructive woman. You couldn't be proud to hate men and to hate children and to not want a family and to be proud not to be a woman and not to fulfill your role as a woman in life and in society. That wasn't something that you could walk around and openly be proud of. That was something that you had to keep under wraps. And there was no defending of that behavior. It was just wrong. And everybody knew it was wrong. But now that we've adopted the American nightmare, the lost value system, now we got a situation where the lioness has to operate silently. Thank you once again, Norrin. Now we got a situation where lionesses gotta creep up and creep around and walk on eggshells. And when we do say, well, I'm a lioness, I'm a woman with values, now we got to get an attack from the hyena clan. Oh, you think you better than me? Now you think you perfect? Listen, let me tell a hyena something. Real quick. Femininity, see, this is how far removed from femininity that you are and how much you don't even understand it. Ain't nobody said we was perfect. Femininity is baseline womanhood. It's basic. It's ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3. You the one don't know what femininity is. So when a woman say I'm feminine and I'm moving in my feminine energy, then that's when y'all want to come with, well, you're not perfect. Did nobody say I was perfect? I just said I was a woman. I didn't say I was perfect. You feel insecure. Pick your back feet up and roll out. But ain't nobody gonna back up their femininity for you. See, that's when I'm talking about the gloves are off. Nobody is interested in backing up out of their feminine stance to coddle and soothe a hyena. Nobody. When we say we're feminine women, we're saying I'm a woman and I know how to be a woman. That doesn't talk about perfection. Nobody said we don't have no faults or flaws. Thank you, Condemned. So feminine women are better than masculine women. I mean what I said. Exactly. We know when to roar and when to move silently. We don't need no hyena to tell us that. And see, now what's chafing the hides of all of these hyenas is now lionesses have the language. Now lionesses have the verbiage and the terminology to call it out now. See, now we can call you out on your value system. Thank you to Dr. Spencer Holman for these very profound, life-changing concepts. And when I say that, I mean specifically the 10 life values and specifically the Valuable Woman series, among many. See, now we got the language. Over here at the Crimson Cure channel, we gave you language. Now we can actually address what we all know and feel and see is wrong with the hyena. Because this isn't about one individual against another. This was what we really see and play out is the one value system against the other. Because Kayla came out windmilling for the lost value system. She windmilling. Ain't nobody asked her to windmill. Nobody told you to come out the house windmilling. Windmilling for foolishness. Nobody called you out here to do that. Let her windmill on her own. She the one feel some type of way. Let Andrea windmill. Let her stand 10 toes down on her lost value system. Let her do it. She want to say she proud to be a hyena and script and do sex work, so let her do it. Let her windmill for it. Now lionesses got to defend having a value system. We got to justify being feminine. We got to justify loving our husbands. We got to justify loving our children. We got to justify loving our community. We got to justify. Now we put into positions where we feel like we got to defend that because it's under attack. We being put in positions as lionesses to defend the fact that we have a spiritual value that we are living by. We got to try to defend the fact that we want to have good health. We don't want to be, 9,000 pounds, you know what I'm saying, and all of that type of stuff. We don't want to do that. And now we at a place in this world where we got to try to defend stuff like that. We got to defend wanting a family and not want to have hot girl summers and not out here, you know what I'm saying? Like we got to defend the fact that we want to tell younger women not to go down that path because the path is a failure. Thank you, 39 Dina. It is a failed system. It failed. It failed. It failed. Now we got to defend not wanting to go outside with bonnets and pajamas on and look like women. And not have your booty and your titties and your cootie cat spread all over social media. Thank you, Rock. So no one will ever accuse Kayla of being feminine. We got to defend having peace in our dwellings. We got to defend that now. We got to defend putting our mobility, our education, our profession, our leisure, and our wealth in the proper perspective underneath the 4 P's of the men in our lives that cover us. We got to defend that. Can you imagine? And I'm sure you can imagine because we living in it. We living in it. I'm going to fast forward it because they end up having a little bit of a conversation and it was more foolishness. It just wasn't arguing foolishness, but it was foolishness. And I'm going to point out how.
So I don't think that we can, when we live in glass houses,
blame and explain. And for the most part, I mean, it's like, look.
Anton, what's your
Bitch
thoughts
mad.
on
Girl, smile. You're prettier when you smile, Andrea. You're prettier when you smile.
No, the thing is, regardless of who a person is, they still deserve to be respected. And the fact that you could disrespect a random person like that and get up here and act like you have like so many great accolades, I just think that it's not real. I don't think it's genuine. I think it's disingenuous.
I thought you didn't want to talk to me. Now you want to talk to me?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well, we can talk.
That first sentence is all cap. That's so much cap. It was so much cap. She need to open up a hat store. It was so much cap. You know, you don't deserve respect just off the basis. You gotta earn that. If you running around here living your life in a disgusting, disrespectful way, and you disrespect yourself day in and day out, there is no way that you expect respect from anybody when you live your whole life in a perpetual state of disrespecting yourself. And that's the part that hyenas don't get. All day, what you do, disrespect yourself, disrespect others. That's all you do. And when it come to you, now everybody needs to respect you, you know, and don't be disrespecting you. The most disrespectful group of women on the planet don't never want no smoke. The most disrespectful group on the planet. Never want no dang on smoke. Never want no smoke. I'm going to let it finish up a little bit.
So me calling, when I called you your occupation, I don't see, you're calling it being disrespectful. I don't understand, and especially with Kayla, why people are coming at me calling you what you've already claimed to be, but then it's disrespectful. If it's so disrespectful to call you what you do, then why do it? And why aren't people trying to cover you and say you don't have to do it? And you can do something respectable so that I call you a teacher. It ain't, oh, you are shaming me for being a teacher. That's the part I don't understand. Shame me for saying what you've already claimed to be, but say nothing about what you're doing, which is not only harmful to you, your reputation, your body, your image, but it's going to affect you lifelong, and it will affect your children when.
Courtney just got through laying out the value system. Shout out to Courtney Michelle. She just got through laying it out. It affects all of those areas. Didn't we say that one value system touches the other? Didn't we say that? She just ran through them real smooth. Real smooth. See, we got to get this 10 life values concept out there. We have to get the reality of it out there. I'm so glad that she's saying it.
You have them.
Okay. Are you done?
Andrea, can I speak
Hold
for
on,
you
I'm
for a
sorry.
second? Can I help you?
Hold on,
Can
Miss
I?
Lego. Hold on, Miss Lego. Hold on.
Okay. I just want to help her out. Okay.
Let her get it out.
Let me just say this. Regardless of my profession, I am completely aware of when someone's trying to shade me and be demeaning and be condescending. So the fact that you said that in a condescending way, I just feel like it was disrespectful. And for me to be able to tell you was disrespectful and you to still like not care or see any reason to like change the way that you talk to people in general, I just think that I don't think that that's real. I can't respect that. I don't think that that's real. And that's just how I feel about it. Regardless of my upbringing, regardless of who's let me down or who hasn't let me down, you don't know my situation. You don't know any of that. And I have been very open about where I come from and the things that I've been through in life because I'm not afraid to expose the truth me. I'm not afraid of that. But for you to use that as a attack against me because we weren't agreeing to something at the time, I just feel like it was a low blow and I can't respect that. So when you start making certain comments and you want to be heard and you want someone to understand, it's kind of difficult because it's almost underhanded when I know that you don't even respect me and you don't even know me.
And that's absolutely fair.
Word salad. A lot of talking, not a lot of sense. There's actually more to it that I want to actually get to. A lot of talking, a lot of word salad, a whole lot of no sense making. Before we go on, I got 603 wonderful people who have liked the stream. So I owe you the dance. Bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button. Bam, bam. You gotta So let's get the other 600 or so people to hit the like button because we got about more than 1,200 people watching. Thank you, Bureau. Said Kayla's deeply immersed in a lost value system. She barks at people and a supporter of the Rainbow Group. Andrea is simply a lost female. Keep cooking. Andrea said a lot and then she didn't say much of nothing. Okay? Didn't say much of anything. I'm going to point out the foolishness of what she actually said. When we kind of get to Courtney's very calm response to her. And then I'm going to expose the actual foolishness. I know we're at an hour of what she just said, and then we're going to wrap it up.
And I can appreciate now that we're having this one-on-one and it's not so egregious that we can talk about it. So the first time that we were on the panel, when I said it, it was a back and forth. And I did say my exact words was that I'm not debating a stripper. And that's what I said because we were going back and forth. So did I say that to not necessarily demean you, but to just to say, look, what you do, the character flaws that I think that a stripper has, if I'm going back and forth on that, yeah, I did mean it that way. And I didn't know that that hurt your feelings by saying it because you always have been open. You were on a whole show viewed by millions saying it. So by me saying it, I didn't know that you would take it that way because you've always been out and open about multiple things that I didn't even speak of, but I saw.
I get
that. I'm not on here to hurt your feelings. I know it's a back and forth. So that's not my goal. And then when I came up here, the aggression was on 10, but I'm going to assume that that was because of before. But I appreciate this dialogue that we can finally talk. Now in Atlanta, we could have done this too. I did not call you a prostitute. If you want to know the truth, when we was at breakfast, that was Q's brother, and I saw her. She's sitting right there. Why are you saying that? So I checked her brother for saying that. You probably didn't even know that, but again, you didn't have that conversation with me because you already figured me out or thought a way about me. I think your story is something that should be said. You have been saying it. I think a lot of women can learn from you if you're wanting to. I don't know what you're wanting to do if you're wanting to keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not, then I think you have a powerful testimony.
I just think that I get what you're saying, but it just I don't think that it's real. Like, I just don't think that it's genuine
So Andrea.
It's not even about it hurting my feelings. It's just about the fact that as a human being, you just shouldn't be disrespectful.
She wants an apology.
Hold on.
Okay. That's the end of what I want to show. Now, y'all might be thinking, well, Crimson Cure, that wasn't impactful. Why did you choose to show that portion of it? That wasn't impactful. Yes, it was. It actually really was rather impactful, because I'm going to point out exactly what she said. Andrea is trying to tell Courtney, I'm embedded in foolishness. I perpetuate it. I am involved in it. I come out and say I'm proud of it. You know what I'm saying? I talk about it all the time in a braggadocious kind of way. But I know it's messed up. You know it's messed up. But what I need is for you to coddle my bad value system. Don't shame me. Don't shame my lost value. Don't shame the fact that I perpetuate city girl life and Magic City life to everybody else. Don't come for me for that. Don't confront me with that. Don't call me to the carpet with that. Don't put me on Front Street with that. Don't hold me accountable with that. Don't charge me up with another value system with that. Coddle my dysfunctions. Apologize for charging me up when I know I'm wrong. Coddle me in my wrong. Help me in my wrongdoing. Apologize for being a lioness. I was running through the plains, yipping and whooping and yapping and acting a dang on fool. I was all around the Pride Rock, nipping at lioness tails and all of that type of stuff. And when you turned around and got at me for doing all that hooping and hollering and running around, now I need you to apologize for being a lioness. Because you know I'm a hyena. You know I ain't sugar honey iced tea. You know I ain't. So why would you call me out on being not sugar honey iced tea? You know I ain't. So why would you do that to me? Why aren't you coddling my dysfunction like this? That is what the sisterhood, the hyena clan, the lost value system sisters want the lioness to do. Don't call me to the carpet. You know I ain't about nothing. I ain't never been about nothing. I ain't gonna be about nothing. You know that. You know I ain't got no values. You know I'm the lowest on the totem pole that you're probably gonna ever see as a woman. So why would you call me out for being the lowest on the totem pole as a woman? Why would you do that to me? Why would you talk about your sister? That's what Kayla had to say. Why would you talk about your sisterin that you know is low? You know we low. So why would you, and then they dress it up, you know, you coming for another woman. No, I'm coming for your value system. I'm coming for it. I'm coming for that. Over here on the Crimson Cure channel, we coming for your value system. We coming for that lost value system. I'm coming for that. Because you shouldn't have it no way. I'm coming for it because you shouldn't have it. Thank you, Y Skinner. That's why I'm coming for it. And then they want to say, you know, it's disrespectful of me. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's like saying you need an operation for healing and it's disrespectful to cut you. No, it ain't. You want the healing or not? You want the surgery or not? Because I got to cut you to get it out of there. I got to cut you to get the cancer out now. Now, do you want that cancer out or not? Tell me. Because if you don't want the operation to get better, I will schedule somebody else to get better. You can lay over there and be sick then. That is what these women want you to do. They carry this mentality everywhere and then get surprised when they run into other value systems that don't align with the lost value system, and they get a surprise. Now they surprised. Now they don't know what's going on. I just bet you don't. But we gonna tell you what's going on. And sometimes we gonna talk to you like this to tell you what's going on. And then sometimes we gonna talk to you like that. And ain't nobody about to be ashamed of talking to you like that. Nobody. Nobody gonna be ashamed. And with that being said, we're not going to be ashamed to call Black Lives Matter out as an organization and the scam and the liars that they are, because they built an entire organization based on the death of Black men being killed unjustly in these streets. And then they collected more than $90 million of donated funds in 2020. And instead of giving that money back to the community that they got it from, they chose to give us the shaft and then spend that money on themselves and their family members and all of that sort of thing. So we are holding Black Lives Matter accountable as a group. In order to join me on doing that, we have a petition. And the link to that petition is in the chat right now, and it is also in the description box as well. Please go ahead and sign it. Please share it. Please contribute to it if you can. I want to thank everyone for their generous contributions. I want to thank everyone for the contributions through Super Chat, through PayPal, and through Cash App. I also want to thank my support team, without which we cannot bring you this content. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.